What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, you're sitting on an untapped gold mine of mental potential? The popular claim that we only use 10% of our brains isn't just misleading, it's completely false. You're actually capable of utilizing 100% of your brain's capacity. But here's the fascinating truth most people don't know. The real magic happens when both hemispheres of your brain start working together in perfect harmony. Imagine having a supercharged cognitive toolkit where logic and creativity coexist seamlessly. Picture being able to solve complex problems, enhance your learning abilities, and tap into creativity you never knew you had, all by understanding how to synchronize your brain hemispheres. Throughout your day, your brain naturally shifts between left and right hemisphere dominance, like waves ebbing and flowing between logical analysis and creative intuition. But most of us get stuck in one mode, missing out on the extraordinary benefits of whole brain thinking. What if you could break free from limited thinking patterns that have been holding you back for years? What if simple techniques like crossing your arms or changing how you breathe could unlock neural pathways you've never accessed before? In this video, I'm going to reveal how the intricate dance between neurons and glial cells, yes, those often overlooked cells that make up 90% of your brain, creates the foundation for brain synchronization. You'll discover practical science-backed techniques to activate your entire mind and experience benefits ranging from reduced stress to enhanced creativity and improved decision-making. By the end of our journey together, you'll understand why breaking free from habitual thinking patterns is the key to unlocking your brain's full potential and how you can start doing it today. Are you ready to discover what your brain is truly capable of? Before we dive into how to synchronize your brain hemispheres, let's clear up a fundamental misconception that's been circulating for decades. The myth that we only use 10% of our brains likely originated from early studies of brain structure. Scientists discovered that only about 10% of the brain consists of neurons, the cells commonly associated with thinking and information processing. The remaining 90% was initially dismissed as merely supportive tissue called glial cells. But here's where science has made remarkable discoveries. Glial cells aren't just passive scaffolding for neurons. Far from it. These cells are active, dynamic contributors to brain function in ways we're still uncovering. Think of neurons as the main characters in a story, while glial cells are the setting, plot devices, and supporting characters that give the narrative its richness and depth. Neurons transmit information through electrical impulses, forming the basis for our thoughts, actions, and cognitive processes. They're the communication network that allows your brain to process everything from simple sensations to complex philosophical ideas. But neurons can't function effectively without their partners, the glial cells. Glial cells come in various types, each with specialized roles critical to brain function. Astrocytes, for example, help maintain the chemical environment necessary for neurons to transmit signals efficiently. They're like the stage managers of the brain, ensuring everything is set up perfectly for the performance. Glial cells also play crucial roles in forming synapses, those vital connections between neurons where information exchange occurs. The relationship between neurons and glial cells is truly symbiotic. Glial cells provide neurons with essential nutrients, remove waste products, and regulate the brain's extracellular environment. During development and learning, they help refine connections between neurons through a process called synaptic pruning. It's like having a team of expert gardeners constantly optimizing your neural networks. Now, let's explore how this intricate neural architecture organizes itself into the two hemispheres of your brain, and why the interaction between these hemispheres is so crucial for optimal cognitive function. Your brain's left hemisphere excels at logical thinking, analytical reasoning, and attention to details. It's your internal mathematician, linguist, and problem solver. When you're calculating tips at a restaurant, analyzing data for a presentation, or constructing a grammatically perfect sentence, your left hemisphere is taking the lead. In contrast, your right hemisphere specializes in holistic thinking, creativity, emotional processing, and spatial awareness. It helps you appreciate art, understand the emotional nuances in a conversation, recognize faces, or navigate without GPS. When you're feeling moved by music or having a creative breakthrough, your right hemisphere is likely in the driver's seat. While this division of labor is efficient, the true power of your brain emerges when both hemispheres collaborate seamlessly. This is what we call brain synchronization, when logical analysis and creative intuition work together in harmony. Around the age of 7 or 8, most of us begin to develop brain dominance, where one hemisphere temporarily takes the lead. Throughout the day, this dominance shifts back and forth in a wave-like pattern. Sometimes you're in analytical mode, breaking down problems systematically. Other times, you're in creative mode, seeing the big picture and making intuitive leaps. This natural fluctuation isn't a problem in itself. The challenge arises when we get stuck predominantly in one hemisphere, missing out on the balanced perspective that comes from whole brain thinking. It's like trying to clap with one hand. You need both to create the impact. Modern neuroimaging research has shown that people who consistently engage both hemispheres tend to demonstrate greater cognitive flexibility, enhanced problem-solving abilities, and even improved emotional regulation. Brain synchronization isn't just an abstract concept. It's a measurable state with tangible benefits for your everyday life. Now that we understand the science behind brain hemispheres and their interaction, let's explore practical techniques that you can implement immediately to promote brain synchronization. These aren't complex neuroscience experiments. They're simple, effective methods that seamlessly integrate into your daily routine. First, let's talk about cross-lateral movements. These are physical actions that require coordination between both sides of your body, effectively forcing your brain hemispheres to communicate and work together. Remember when I mentioned crossing your arms or legs in the beginning of this video? That wasn't just a random example. It's a powerful technique backed by neuroscience. Try this right now. Sit comfortably and cross your right arm over your left. Then interlace your fingers. Notice how this simple position creates a subtle shift in your awareness. That's your brain hemispheres engaging in dialogue. You can incorporate cross-lateral movements throughout your day. Try brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand, taking a walk while intentionally swinging opposite arms and legs, or practicing coordination exercises like touching your right elbow to your left knee, then alternating. Another powerful technique is mindful breathing and meditation. When you focus on your breath, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which creates an optimal state for hemispheric synchronization. The beauty of breathing exercises is that they can be practiced anywhere, anytime. Here's a simple 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale quietly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Then exhale completely through your mouth for 8 seconds. Doing this for just 5 minutes daily creates an environment conducive to whole brain engagement by reducing stress hormones that can inhibit neural connectivity. Creative pursuits are another excellent pathway to brain synchronization. Activities that combine analytical thinking with creative expression naturally engage both hemispheres. Consider drawing or painting, which requires spatial awareness and fine motor skills alongside creative vision. Playing a musical instrument is particularly powerful. Reading music engages your left hemisphere, while expressing emotion through music activates your right hemisphere. Even if you don't consider yourself artistic, you can find accessible creative outlets. Try journaling with both words and simple sketches, cooking a new recipe that requires both precision and improvisation, or dancing to your favorite music, which combines rhythmic patterns with emotional expression. Brain training exercises specifically designed to promote hemispheric integration can be remarkably effective. Puzzles like Sudoku engage your analytical skills while requiring pattern recognition. Strategic games like chess demand both logical planning and intuitive understanding of your opponent's potential moves. Memory games challenge both factual recall and spatial awareness. One particularly effective brain synchronization exercise is the dual N-back task, which simultaneously tests your visual and auditory working memory. While more challenging than other techniques, research has shown it significantly improves cognitive flexibility and working memory, hallmarks of effective brain synchronization. The integration of technology offers modern approaches to brain synchronization. Binaural beats, audio tracks that play slightly different frequencies in each ear, have been shown to promote specific brainwave states associated with hemispheric synchronization. Neurofeedback applications provide real-time information about your brain activity, allowing you to consciously shift toward more balanced states. The applications of brain synchronization extend far beyond cognitive enhancement. Students who practice these techniques often report improved learning retention and decreased test anxiety. Professionals find enhanced creative problem-solving abilities and more effective decision-making. Athletes experience improved coordination and faster reaction times. Those struggling with emotional regulation discover greater resilience and emotional balance. Consider Sarah, a marketing executive who struggled with presentation anxiety. By practicing cross-lateral movements and mindful breathing before important meetings, she not only reduced her anxiety, but also found herself responding more creatively to unexpected questions. Or Michael, a student with ADHD, who incorporated brain synchronization exercises into his study routine and saw remarkable improvements in his ability to maintain focus and retain information. The beauty of brain synchronization lies in its accessibility. These techniques don't require expensive equipment or years of specialized training, just consistency and awareness. By incorporating even one or two of these practices into your daily routine, you'll likely notice subtle shifts in your cognitive abilities, emotional regulation, and overall well-being. Remember, brain synchronization isn't about permanently erasing the specialized functions of each hemisphere. Rather, it's about creating a fluid partnership between them, allowing you to access the full spectrum of your cognitive abilities when needed. It's about breaking free from rigid thinking patterns and embracing the remarkable flexibility your brain is designed to express. One of the most transformative aspects of brain synchronization, and perhaps the reason you're still watching this video, is its remarkable power to liberate us from the constraints of habitual thinking patterns. Let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself stuck in the same mental loops, approaching problems the same way, or feeling limited by your own thought processes? If so, you're experiencing the neural equivalent of being trapped in a maze of your own making. Our brains are efficiency machines. They love to create shortcuts and well-worn neural pathways, habits of thought that require minimal energy. While this efficiency serves us well for routine tasks like driving or brushing our teeth, it can severely limit our cognitive flexibility and creative potential when applied to complex challenges or personal growth. When we repeatedly activate the same neural pathways, we essentially restrict our access to alternative perspectives and solutions. It's like having a vast library, but only reading the same few books over and over again. The information in the other volumes remains inaccessible, not because it doesn't exist, but because we've forgotten how to reach for those shelves. Brain synchronization disrupts these habitual patterns by creating new neural connections across hemispheres. As you engage both the analytical and creative centers of your brain simultaneously, you forge novel pathways that bypass your usual thinking ruts. This neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new connections, is the key to cognitive flexibility and growth throughout your lifetime. Consider how this might apply to your life. Perhaps you're facing a challenge at work that seems insurmountable, or you're trying to improve a relationship that's stuck in negative patterns. By engaging in brain synchronization practices, you're not just performing exercises. You're literally rewiring your neural architecture to perceive alternatives that were previously invisible to you. Lisa, a writer who had experienced creative block for months, began incorporating cross-lateral movements and mindful breathing into her morning routine. Within weeks, she reported not just a return of her creative flow, but an entirely new approach to her work that felt more integrated and authentic. The block hadn't just been removed. It had been transformed into a foundation for growth. Similarly, researchers working with children who have learning difficulties have found that activities promoting hemispheric integration often lead to breakthroughs in areas where traditional educational approaches have failed. When both hemispheres collaborate effectively, learning becomes more holistic, engaging, and naturally reinforcing. This brings us to a profound truth about human cognition. We never use just 10% of our brains. Instead, we often use 100% of our brains in limited ways. The distinction is crucial. Your brain is fully active and engaged throughout your day, but much of that activity follows established patterns that may not serve your highest potential. Brain synchronization isn't about activating dormant areas of your brain. It's about optimizing the communication between areas that are already active. It's about orchestrating the symphony of neural activity in ways that promote flexibility, creativity, resilience, and growth. As we conclude our exploration of brain synchronization, I want to emphasize that this journey is deeply personal. While the neuroscience behind these concepts applies to all human brains, how you implement these techniques and the benefits you experience will be unique to you. Some may notice immediate improvements in creative thinking, while others might first experience enhanced emotional regulation or stress reduction. The key is consistency and patience. Neural pathways strengthen with repetition, so incorporating these practices regularly into your routine, even for just a few minutes daily, will yield far greater results than occasional intensive sessions. Think of it as learning a new language or instrument. Daily practice, even briefly, creates more lasting change than cramming once a week. I encourage you to approach brain synchronization with curiosity rather than expectation. Notice the subtle shifts in your perception, problem-solving approaches, emotional responses, and creative insights. Keep a journal of your experiences to track patterns and progress that might otherwise go unnoticed. Remember that unlocking your brain's full potential isn't about reaching some final state of perfect synchronization. It's about creating a more flexible, adaptable mind that can shift seamlessly between focused analysis and expansive creativity as each situation demands. It's about having access to your complete cognitive toolkit rather than being limited to familiar implements. By understanding the intricate dance between neurons and glial cells, appreciating the complementary strengths of your brain hemispheres, and actively practicing techniques that promote their cooperation, you're not just optimizing brain function, you're embracing the fullness of your cognitive heritage as a human being. So, the next time someone claims we only use 10% of our brains, you can smile knowing that you're actively working toward utilizing 100% of your brain in more integrated, creative, and fulfilling ways. The journey toward cognitive optimization and personal transformation begins with a single cross-lateral movement, a mindful breath, or a moment of creative expression. Your brain's extraordinary potential has been waiting for you all along. Now, with these tools and understanding, you're ready to unlock it.